Are you looking for a really fun Dolby Atmos demo for your home theater system? I've got an awesome demo I've created here that is similar in style to the ones you've seen on the Dolby demo discs or the DTSX demo discs, and even some of the Trinov demos you've seen recently available. So if you want to get a fun Atmos demo for your system that you can download and play back on your system, I got that for you today. Stick around. What's up, guys? Thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. So if you followed the channel for a little bit, you know that I'm a longtime mixing engineer, and I've recently been doing a lot of mixing in Dolby Atmos, and I'm also a big home theater enthusiast. So this is a great intersection of these two things for me. So down in the description, I'll have a link for you that will give you detailed playback instructions. But basically, you're going to download this file and put it either on a flash drive or on your NAS or something else and play it back on any of the players that will play it back in Atmos for you on your system. So this is the second demo I've done in this style. My first one I did, called Portals, which I'll also have a link to, is kind of similar to the Dolby demo discs. If you've watched any of the demos like Leaf or Amaze, those have been around for many years and they're very cool, but we don't get a lot of those anymore. So I wanted to create some of my own. So this one was created using stock video footage that had no sound at all. And I did the sound design completely from the ground up. Like, there was no sound to any of these videos. So this is all just basically using sound effects and then kind of, layering stuff, doing a lot of manipulation to the sounds, and, working on the ambiances and stuff like that. And then, of course, all of the actual Atmos mixing, like, panning, placing stuff, objects moving, those sort of things. So just before we get into talking about what's in this specific video, just want to remind you, of course, like all YouTubers, we have to say, like, subscribe, share it. It means the world to us. It's the only way we can get these platforms, we can get our channels to grow, is if that stuff. I know we all say it, but it kind of needs to be said, because that's the only way we grow. And if you support what we do, just even a like, a comment, a share, that means a ton. And of course, subscribe if you like this content, because there's plenty more I've got coming and plenty I've already done. All of my Atmos demos I've done, you can download for free from my studio website in MP4, which is like a lossy Dolby Atmos via Dolby Digital Plus. But I do have a Patreon, which is really cheap, only $5 a month, where when you subscribe to that, you get access to all of my demos and mixes I've done, but in Dolby True HD. So that's uncompressed, lossless, and you've got some cool extra things that I only post on the Patreon that are not on the YouTube. But even if you don't feel like subscribing to the $5 a month, at least just follow on there, do the free one, so that way you can kind of get notified when videos do release. Okay, so let's talk about the specific demo. It's 5 short scenes, and I'm going to go through each scene and just kind of show you what's in there, kind of what to listen for, and kind of just explain each one. And as we're going, so I'm going to play the video, which you'll see. Now, I'm also going to be flipping back and forth to the Dolby Atmos renderer, which is what I see when I mix. Now, a lot of my mixes, I do put the renderer on screen, especially like the music mixes. But since this is video, you're really meant not to see the renderer. It can be almost kind of distracting. It's like the picture does enough, but I probably will release a version for my Patreon only, where I put the render in the bottom corner with what's going on with the actual video still. So anyways, I'll be flipping back and forth between the two to explain some of these. So the first scene is kind of like this, I don't know what you even want to call him. He's some kind of blob creature. And there's a couple main sounds going on. When you look at it in the renderer, you'll actually only see one ball, which is, one object. But as it's playing, if you look up there on the meters, you'll see that there's a lot of other sounds going on. So that's, of course, that one object moving through. There's some drone sounds kind of in the front, left and right, with some good bottom end LFE that's sent to the LFE track. And then you've got like this creepy choir sound in the back, which is kind of like going back and forth, moving a little between the rear surrounds, right? But then you've got this blob thing, right? Which it's just a combination of a bunch of different sounds that I all added together. You know, it's stuff like, it's actually stuff like, you know, like the sound of a blowtorch and like the sound of a, you know, I think there's some other like air moving and stuff, whatever. It's like 8 sounds stacked together. But as it's kind of, as you see it on screen, it's kind of reaching out, right? I tried to make that match up. So when you see it on the renderer, see the way the ball is kind of reaching out into the room, that kind of matches up with where it's, you know, reaching out at you. So scene number 2 is basically all these like flashes of light kind of going across the screen in all different directions. Now these sounds are a combo of many sounds like swords, slashing, lasers. It's multiple sounds stacked together, and there's many of them all around you. You'll see when I show you the render here that there's a lot more objects moving. Now you're not going to hear them all right here because it's only playing what's out of the left and right while the render is up, but you can see all the objects moving around. And again, it's just completely all around you. And there's also some really good, a couple of those whooshes kind of have some good LFE, you know, throw to them that you'll feel in your sub. Let's talk about scene number 3. This is the one that I'm most proud of, that I took the, you know, that took the most amount of work. Okay. So you'll hear this car sound right while it's still fading to, it's fade to black between the 2 scenes, right? So basically you're outside, you're standing here in the grass right next to the gravel. You got some people over there cheering. So again, when it first comes in, you'll hear the car in the distance, but you'll hear the kind of the ambience of the nature around you. That was a thing I wanted. There's the sound of the people talking, you know, very faint, and the ambient sounds of, you know, nature all around you. You hear this rally car in the distance. Now, as it comes toward you, it gets louder and louder till when it goes right by you, you're going to get this huge, like, it's a huge push from the LFE. So if you got a capable sub, you're going to feel it in your chest as that car just kind of, the slam as it kind of whooshes by you. The car is a lot of different car sounds all, you know, together. You're going to hear the, you know, the car spin out basically to the right of you as it kind of, because it's kind of coming, you know, along. I can show you on the renderer here what the car looks like. See, this is the car right there. So you'll see. So here again, I'll kind of follow it with my finger. There's the car, kind of comes across and goes over to the right. And it kind of ends up over in the right surround speaker as it spins out. Well, what you saw there too is you saw all this stuff, and that stuff on top is kind of the nature ambience. But you'll see right when it crashes, see all those 4 balls there that kind of go up and over your head, and this too? That's like dirt and rocks and gravel and dust. It kicks it up over your head, so you hear it kind of go from like in front of you over the top, like your left shoulder, and then kind of settle in the left, you know, rear surround. So that was a really cool moment. And then as the car, after it spins out, you hear it kind of get going again and speed away off in the distance, kind of going from the left surround to the front right, but it's also getting further away. So that was one I was really proud of. I really like the effect of when the car comes right by you, the big slam of LFE, you get all the stuff flying over your head. So 2 quick notes before we get to the last scene. One thing I forgot to say in the beginning is turn this up just a couple dB louder than you would normally play a demo file, basically, or any other movie, right? I left it intentionally with just a little more headroom just to make sure I could get just absolute maximum impact on some of these LFE you know, hits without going over the spec, especially the one at the very end. So it's just a little quieter for a little headroom. You know, for example, on my system, I have an Anthem AVM70. I usually listen to movies around -25, -24. A lot of newer releases, though, if you know, those have to be up more like about 5 dB above that because they're mastering really quiet. So I just put this one at about -22 or -21, you know, and that seems to be about right. Just the last note, just reminding you, of course, to subscribe, like, share the video, you know, just I really appreciate that. And if you want to really support me, go join the Patreon where you can get all of these demos in true HD Atmos. They're both available in MKV and MT2S, so it'll play on any number of different playback systems in full lossless Atmos. So again, that would mean the world to me. Any sort of support, I just am so thankful for it, and it's what helps me be able to keep doing these videos for you guys. Scene number 4 is basically like this. You're inside of this like infinite spaceship, as I would call it. This is kind of what it looks like. This one is really cool. You've got a constant LFE rumble that's going on. Just there's all sorts of mechanical sounds and, you know, kind of futuristic sounds that are going on all around you. You'll hear stuff a lot of stuff kind of going by you in the heights because you've got the, you're kind of moving through this area, so you can feel the ceiling and the floor moving by. And just, it's kind of creepy and unsettling, right? And then you'll get to this point where it kind of stops. You'll see like a quick flash on the screen here. And then it kind of reverses and you back out and you hear everything go and kind of pitch down, which is cool. And then go in reverse. So just showing you what that scene looks like on the renderer. So that's the end of, there you can see the car speeding away here in the distance. So here's that spaceship scene. So you can see you've got a lot of these sounds, just swirling around you. Stuff just, again, moving around you all the time, which is really cool. And that's kind of the reverse at the end there. All right, let's talk about the last scene, scene number 5. This is the other one I'm really proud of, and I feel like a lot more work went into this. So the video is of this kind of crazy traffic, right, that's going on all around, and you zoom up really high like you're out in the sky, and then the camera spins around and you come down back really fast. So what I wanted to there was kind of put you in the middle of this crazy, crazy traffic and city sounds and all these things. So there's lots of stuff going on at the beginning. Of course, cars going around you in all directions, above you, behind you, all that stuff. There's, city ambience and noise and stuff like that, right? But what happens is it pulls out. You'll see it in the renderer, but also looking at it or just listening to it, what will happen is every sound as you get higher and higher up, everything goes smaller and smaller, more towards the front until only the sound is coming out of the center channel. And then, so it sounds really, it's really big. As you go, it gets smaller, 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 smaller. And then it'll do like that 360 spin and you'll start this slow, long bass drop. And as it goes down, the sounds are going to kind of rush slowly back around you, right? And as you crash to the ground, you're going to feel this. If you've got a sub that can go this low, you're going to feel, basically there's a 20 hertz rumble that like, when it hits the, like in my system, it just like shakes the couch, It's really cool, but you got to, systems got to be able to play down to 20 to get that last one. You'll feel most of the bass drop going down, but the one at the very end after you crash is really cool. So, and then it kind of fades to black and there's like a car horn kind of in the distance going like an alarm almost. So let me play that for you to show you. So again, there's everything, going on. You're just kind of like zooming up almost like you're floating away from the earth. Getting further away from all the city noise and all the traffic and stuff. And it's, again, it kind of fades all into the center. And then you'll do this spin around with the bass drop starting. And then it's going to go rapidly. And then right there, right before it fades to black, and even as it's still cutting to black, you'll hear the sub rumble hang over that 20 hertz. And just to show you what that looks like on the renderer. So again, here's all the traffic noises coming around you. Cars whizzing by. So you can see everything's kind of moving slowly towards the front. And all of the objects are going to rush towards the center. Now everything is right in the center. And then that's where the spin happens right there. And then it's going to start zooming in. And as you can see, everything's going to kind of come rushing back right there at the end, a ton right at you. So anyways, that's my demo, which I didn't even mention the title at the beginning, called Sojourn, which is just a fancy word for journey. Anyways, check that out. Again, please subscribe, like, share, leave a comment, kind of, do you like these more? Do you like the music stuff more? Just kind of what, any thoughts on this demo would be appreciated. And of course, subscribe to the Patreon if you really would like to support me. That would be great. If you want to check out any of my Atmos demos, they'll be linked below, but I'll put a video here that you can check out if you're interested in my other Dolby style demo I did called Portals. So you can go check that out right here. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.